content!
Whereas if I'm in a public setting, I've got to let that all out. Basically, like if you get angry,
so the good
a drummer would go and play the drums.
So the good thing there is you're acknowledging the possession of these sentiments, emotions, ways of being, and you have a safe place, like a poker game where you take it out, or a game of chess, as opposed to stabbing you in the neck with a knife. But they're both coming from the same place.
Okay, so
of the state of nature that makes you want to dominate. You're not entering a poker game playing someone wanting to live.
And here's the difference
between... You want to beat him. You don't just want to win, right? You want to beat him.
Of course. But yeah,
the far left and the far right.
The difference between us two then is I accept those like negative attributes in myself, and I take those to a safe setting where it's acceptable to do those in a game setting.
It's harmless.
Where it's harmless, yeah. And it's expected
because
by
the
the
care harm principle is strong.
Whereas you don't do that. You take this into the real world, and you let your negative attributes negatively affect everybody else around you.
I'm here to divide, ultimately.
Yeah, he is what he is. Someone has to.
I'm not here to unite anyone in one big piece.
Yeah, and you do it by
to divide because division and difference is key.
So you're using your power to divide the working class.
No. All
everybody
into the correct organizational
hierarchy according to you.
By divide,
Well, I definitely think people have been manipulated to thinking that they could be whatever they want, and that's not true.
Huh?
People in school are manipulated to think that they can be whatever they want in terms of profession, whether it's an astronaut or the prime minister or whatever. Some people, well, most people are not going to be astronauts. That is going to be for a very, very, very highly selective people with a high IQ, both with a very almost genetically, almost like Olympian athletics in all sorts of fields, you know. So yeah. So we need to.
So you think schools are brainwashing people?
Oh yeah.
So you think that makes
I'm a teaching assistant. You know?
So it makes it. So you're brainwashing people in schools.
I'm a teaching assistant. I don't tell students what to believe. I'm just here to help their work.
But you witness the teacher telling the kids what to believe.
The left have indoctrinated for the generation 4 now, right?
In fact, I was working at this school in Wembley. This is absolutely hilarious. There's this little poster that's called. It's about melanin, and it says, "Melanin unites us all. Is the blueprint of the universe."
Or what we like to say to people like the Fake and Maggie show, panels of colour.
It's their sneaky way of trying to validate people.
Validate black people for having more melanin than
panels
white
of colour.
It isn't necessarily just black, you could be a dark-skinned Indian, you know.
Yeah, so we shouldn't validate those people. They're invalid because they have more melanin.
No, we should marginalise their lived experiences, and we should otherize them.
We should other people for having more.
We should otherize them and
for having more melanin in their skin
and marginalize their lived experiences. Yeah. Because from that you get a fundamental difference. From that difference you see that which is not you, and from the difference you build true hierarchy of power. Like I ain't the same color as Belly, and you're not the same color as
So we should other you because you've got more melanin in your skin.
There you go.
Why aren't you othering him now?
There you are.
Because he's telling me the actual facts of what people should be proud about or understand what does create certain quotas for you to be proud of.
So he's not acting like his melanin count, is that what you're saying?
He's not, Like there's loads of people who want to make it out that, the whole world was dominated by black people and then Whitey came over and then took that away from them. You know?
She knows it's absurd.
So you're okay with black people if they don't act like black people?
No. I want black people to have a high IQ and them to be proud of real things and not fantasies.
You're okay with black people with high IQs, even though your IQ is quite low. You don't like people. You don't like black people with low IQs.
No. I don't like the ideology that is corrupting black people with low IQ, like Wakanda and all that stuff.
The progressive plantation.
you know.
So since since Malcolm X and the 60s and his famous Berkeley television interview, look up Malcolm X and 60s interview, it's both him and the entire cadre of the left have enslaved black people on this progressive plantation. They've enslaved their mind, disallowing black people to have power. Evidenced by the fact that black people have known no power since the 1960s.
Black people have no power since the 1960s.
Progressive plantation. More reparations, more slavery, more Wakanda. Yeah.
Are you mad?
Rise up.
We had
the right-wing black power.
America.
You know who
America
you
had a black president. Like
Half black.
yeah. So whereas Raspect, everyone will be running around in the progressive plantation along with the metrosexuals, the lefties, all in a coalition of weakness, a coalition of need, not a coalition of power.
It's not a coalition of need. We just talked about this.
Yeah.
It's not envy. It's not need.
So read Roger
Well, it is need because it's been stolen by the wealthy.
So Roger Scotland's book is great.
So why
it's,
are you taking?
As a community of need of my rights, my health, my housing, legitimately, my education, my wants, my desire. The left are a community of need. The right are a community of power. The black power is stuck with the progressive plantation. More reparations, more needs, more slavery, more institutional department of structure, institutionalized racism.
We just get out the Muslim. In
the middle of one
if you say that the Christians here start about women and pick the dead. So let's go in them Quran.
But dude, hey, we're in the middle of something else, bro. Hey. Ashley Bless.
Kids just go to hell. In the book,
Who is that guy?
Ash, this is not the fruits of the spirit.
Say another word that only in the Bible says children will go to hell.
Brother, we're in the middle. Ashley, we're in the middle of something else.
Bro. Oh, sorry, brother. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry. So we just put
move on. That was the exercise of right-wing authoritarian power. Can you do that? No, so that's the difference. So the left therefore must form the spectrum with Raspect, metrosexuals, trans, and the left eventually has this community of need.
A community of need.
Right. Housing, welfare, rights, health, safety.
The left will destroy.
It's
the world
a community of empathy, looking after those who are needy. Whereas you don't give a shit about those who are needy. You want to subjugate them.
The far right care about the needy.
So I've seen
we do it differently. But what we care about that you don't care about in the three moral dimensions underneath.
Okay.
You don't care about.
How do you care about the needy?
Hierarchy.
How do you care about those? How do you care about the homeless?
Give them a good dose of reality for starters.
Give them a good dose of reality.
Yeah.
What, like burning £50 notes in front of them? Would you think that's a good dose of reality? Or like your hero Patrick Bateman, killing them and their dog? Is that someone with characteristics to aspire to, like his savagery? You just said.
The savagery that makes things. Have you ever seen Star Trek? With
No. Let's stay on this. Let's stay on the topic of American Psycho. And you.
I'm saying no.
You've spoken for a long time. So let's bring it back to before the camera came, and you talking about American Psycho and how you aspire to his levels of savagery.
Right. So let me bring that back in, and for the modern pop references amongst us.
Because I'd say that your actions for the past year against those who are vulnerable have been quite savage.
Can I address the last one? We take turns. I'm saying, so we address the savagery. If you look at the new Star Trek film with Benedict Cumberbatch, where he plays Khan,
and you're looking at a meme to use.
No. This is the black person that all black people should aspire to. Thomas Sowell.
According to this white person, this is the black person that you agree with.
Yep. This is your hero.
This white person knows everything that all the black people need to know.
Well, he's got a higher IQ than me.
What you're missing, Lister, let me return to your point about savagery. So the Star Trek film with Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Sherlock, plays the Khan, and when the new Captain Kirk says, "What are you? You're a genetic superior." It says, did they pick you for your genetic superiority, for your intellect? Do you know what Benedict Cumberbatch says? No, for my savagery.
Do you take all your
intellect
inspirations
by itself, so he tells
from
Spock.
fiction?
So
is that where you get all your
fiction.
inspiration from?
Fiction is where imagination lives.
Yeah, so that's where you get your inspiration from.
Or culture.
Fiction.
Well, we started by talking about Patrick Bateman in a fictional book, right?
No, but I enjoy the book.
Good.
I don't look at Patrick Bateman as inspiration like you do.
But the thread through it is deeper than Bateman, or deeper than Bret Easton Ellis, deeper than Star Trek. The deeper vein is when Benedict Cumberbatch says to him, "No, they want me for my savagery. My intellect itself can't break bones." Right?
Well, it's interesting. The Joker has just released, Are you afraid that people are going to be inspired by the Joker? The film, The Joker by Joaquin Phoenix? Joaquin
What, am I afraid that people will be inspired by the Joker?
Yeah. Like the media has been saying that this film is going to indoctrinate incels who have been trodden on by life and going to go on a mass shooting, you know?
No.
You don't think that's going to happen?
Unfortunately,
Right. Unfortunately, they won't.
Unfortunately, what?
Unfortunately, they won't, I said, but I was giving a tongue-in-cheek parody. No, but back to the key point of writing, as old as Mephistopheles, as old as the Iliad, savagery is the source of power. Savagery controlled by morality is the glory of God.
But I've just shown you.
Savagery
I've just shown you how you will be less happy the more power you have. Why do you want to be less
I'm not
happy?
interested in power. I'm here just as a servant of a Majesty's realm in this beautiful English day in England. I'm just, to me it's service.
Yeah.
But yeah, savagery is a tool, and savagery is a noble tool.
So don't you?
Empires are created by
I've
savagery.
heard you both describe black people as savages.
No.
Yes, you agree. You agree
we're all
with
savages. We're all savages.
Do you agree with Tommy Robinson's quote when he said? In fact, you said it when we had this chat before. Tommy Robinson said about the Somalis that they are backwards barbarians, and you said that, well, yeah, the Somalis are savages.
Well,
So you use that as a so you use savage as a negative when it's hold on, listen. You use savage as a negative when it's used with to characterize a black person, but you want to aspire to it when it's done by a white psychopath, fictional.
No, because it needs to be.
This is your hypocrisy showing,
So
where it's okay for you because you're powerful and all-knowing and you think you're some sort of god. When it's black people or Asians or someone who acts like an Asian, unlike you who thinks he acts like a white man.
So how do we substantiate our claim? How do we substantiate our claim for Lister that Somaliland is the most backward place on the planet? You look at the 197 nations and you index the World Corruption Index, and Somaliland is 187 the most corrupt nation in
So
the
that all
planet.
Somalis are savages.
No, we did not say that. We did not say that.
No, that's what you have said
You're
before.
trying to do the max
No,
out
you agree.
fallacy.
You agreed with Tommy Robinson's characterization of Somalis as backwards barbarians.
As they do with Trump saying Haiti is a shithole. Haiti is a shithole.
But that's talking about a country.
And Somali's the most
Tommy Robinson was talking about the Somali
But
people.
how much do you know about Somaliland and Somali? It's the
No,
most
I'm talking about the
ungovernable,
Somali
corrupt,
people.
corrupt
And you're
nation
trying
of
to,
that.
you're
the
trying
country's made
to,
of the
you're
people.
trying to say that it's okay to label a whole country's citizens as backwards barbarians and savages.
Should we blame the Chinese people for Somaliland?
Should we what?
Should we blame the Chinese people?
Blame
Who should we blame for Somali culture? Who should we hold accountable for this most corrupt barbaric culture as ranked in the United Nations?
What, so I'm responsible for this.
No, I'm asking you, who should you hold responsible for this
Am I
barbaric
responsible
culture?
for the country's culture?
No, who should be?
Am I responsible of the country? So why should I be responsible for the UK's culture?
Calm down. What you're
Should
talking
I be responsible for the UK's
Don't run
culture?
away from the topic.
If the answer
Who
is
is
no,
responsible?
then why are you blaming Somalis
Who
for
is
their culture,
responsible
for
for Somali
an individual
culture?
Somalis for their culture?
Who's responsible for Somali culture?
Am I responsible? Who's responsible for the
Simple
UK's?
question.
Well, it's a simple
How you're
question.
talking running.
Answer
Who
my
is
question. Am I
responsible?
responsible for the UK's
Yes.
culture? How am I responsible
Because
for everybody?
Your
How can-
activities, the UK culture is defined as the aggregate activities of values and principles and behaviours
So I'm
of the British people,
I'm
which you unfortunately are one.
as an atheist, I'm responsible for the Christian culture that we have.
So anyway, back to the point.
No,
running away
you're
from.
talking nonsense,
No,
and
I'm
you're
not.
trying
Where
to
is
talk
Somali-
past
so
the
who's-
point
who's-
because you know you're
so
talking
no,
nonsense.
I
So,
let you run
is
away.
it okay
No,
now
you're asking
to
more
call
questions. So this is what happens,
Somalis
you get
backwards
excited.
barbarians
So
based on
we're gonna vote
their
with-
supposed culture? Is it?
Have you finished? No, you haven't answered the question. So no more questions to answer my question. Who is responsible for Somali culture?
Well, if I'm not responsible
I'm
for
asking
the
you what
UK
you want. I'm
culture,
asking you.
then a Somali isn't responsible for.
No, I said you are responsible. Who is responsible for Somali culture?
You've just
Why
said
can't you
that
answer
I'm
the
not.
question?
Am I?
Why
am
are
I,
you so scared?
So as an
to
atheist,
answer the question?
I don't care if you're an atheist, I'm responsible for the Christian culture that we
Why are you
have.
running from a simple question?
No, because I'm pointing. I'm not running from it. I'm dealing it with head on. I'm dealing it with head on. If I can't, how can I be responsible as an atheist for the Christian culture that we have?
Who is
How can-
responsible?
Are you-
Christianity and Britain
okay.
are not the same.
Are they these ladies responsible for Somali culture? They don't look Somali, so they can't be responsible for Somali culture. You're not Somali, neither am I.
Are you responsible for the British culture that we have?
I live here, and the activities that occur here, the activities produced by my behaviour.
So you're responsible for the drinking culture that we have, the drug culture that we have. You're responsible because you take drugs and you drink.
No, because I mean, even if I didn't, I'd still be responsible. Because the culture is the definition of the activities aggregated for, placed, and abhorred by chimps. The Somali people are responsible for Somali culture, just like you are responsible for Tommy Robinson.
I'm not responsible for the Christian culture as an atheist.
Tommy Robinson. Yeah, you're also responsible. On a side note, to those watching, 7 Pakistani Muslims and a black guy came into a pub in Coventry 3 days ago, took out a big knife in front of Danny Tomo in England, in Coventry in England, and threatened him because of your left-wing propaganda memes that he would be a racist. Danny Tomo is not a racist, he's a patriot. Tommy Robinson is not a racist, he's a patriot. Lister is not a patriot. I'm not sure.
Do you know what Danny also said in that? Do you know what Danny also said?
Yeah.
He also said that when people use the N-word against black people, for some black people, that's sometimes the worst thing that has ever been done to them. No, I'm not black.
Okay, well then I think you should have black people talk about that issue.
So what do you think about the N-word and its use?
I'm not black, did you?
But what do you think about you being allowed to say the N-word to black people?
I'm a free speech absolutist. I would use words niggers and packy and well.
It's just the Latin word for black.
I'm a free speech absolutist. Will I go around insulting someone? No, I won't.
So you've never called a black man a nigger as an insult?
I may or may not have. Why does it matter?
You may or may not have. You may or may not have.
No, why does that matter?
I'm just wondering.
No, but why does it matter?
Because Danny Tomo thinks that is what causes...
For the record, Lister's obsessed with Danny and Tommy Robinson.
No, you brought him up. You're the one who brought him up.
No, I just wanted to highlight how a patriotic English person could be attacked by a bunch of...
So let's go over again what Danny Tomo said. He said that people who use the N-word against black people, it's sometimes the worst thing a black person has ever had done to them.
Really?
And I know for a fact that you have...
How do you know that?
That's
You're not black. Why are you talking about a black person?
I don't know. That's Danny Tomo's opinion. That's Danny Tomo's opinion.
So you're wanting my opinion on Danny Tomo's opinion? It's a white guy talking about a black guy and you're not black.
Now I'm wondering what Danny Tomo would think if he knew that you willfully...
That's a question for you, mate.
You continuously use the N-word as an insult against black people. Is that true?
I never stop. I walk around all day going...
Is that true? Have you used the N-word as an insult against a black person?
Well, you're not black. I'm
not black. No, I'm not.
Why are you so worried about black people?
Why are you ducking the question? Why are you ducking the question?
I've told you.
Have you used the N-word as an insult against a black person?
I call all my mates niggas. You're a snow nigger, he's a snow nigger, he's my chocolate nigger, all my niggers.
What about you?
My niggas
what about those who aren't your mates?
Big up my niggas.
What about those who aren't your mates? Have you ever done it?
Everyone's my mate.
Have you ever?
Jesus Christ.
Why are you ducking the question? Why are you ducking the question, Ralph?
Question.
Answer the question then. Yeah, it's a simple yes or no question. Have you ever used the N-word as an insult against someone who's not your friend?
All the time.
All the time.
I never do anything but that. That's all I do all the time, walking around the street.
It's true though, isn't it?
You've got hours.
You try that. You can't say no because you know it's true. You can't say no because you know it's true.
Further right on the political spectrum than...
You must, one, be German and two, a member of the National Socialist Party.
Okay. So, sorry, I think I interrupt this guy. Might have had a charge against you. Go on.
Oh, he's been having a pop. So, would you say what happened to Danny
Answer the question.
Yeah, I've already have.
So you have. No, but yeah. So you have.
Answer the question. So
no, but that's
what do
because
you
can't say no.
What do you think about Danny?
He uses the N-word as an insult against black people
all the time,
whether they're friends of his or not.
All the time, every time, every interaction.
He's making light of it, but it's on video.
Every time,
it's on video. Right?
All the time,
it's on video.
So are we done with that?
I'm gonna veto. I'm sorry.
So
no,
what do you think happens?
No, let's not talk about this. Let's continue talking about your racism.
No, I want to talk about what do you think will happen to Danny? What's your view?
I think he's probably lying.
You think Danny's lying? Danny, mate,
Probably.
Lister thinks you're lying. He thinks he's made it up.
Probably.
Thinks you made it up. Oi, Danny. You think he's made it up? Wow.
I've caught him multiple times lying. So
your first instinct when an Englishman is stabbed by 7
when
Muslim immigrants,
when
and
a
black
liar,
guy,
when a liar,
you think your
when
first
someone
instinct
can,
is makes it up, right?
well, why didn't he tell the police? Why did he?
Because
Why?
the police do jack all.
Oh, okay.
In that scenario.
So
We love you, Danny. We
so
do. We love
is that
you,
why?
Tommy,
Is that
we
another
do.
reason why he didn't
We
go
love
to
you,
the?
England. We do. Oi, Lister, we love you.
Yeah, they would rather,
The police don't do
They would
anything.
rather
How
arrest-
can the police do something if they're not told about it?
Because they, oh god, there's like so many occasions where in the LGBT.
So no one ever gets locked up because the police never do anything. The prisons are empty. No criminals are ever caught.
There's a double
You're
standard.
just
There's
talking
a
absolute
double
nonsense.
standard. No, there is a double standard.
Obviously, the police can't do anything if they're not told about it.
Yes, but if a situation happens and you know they go to the police and the police do nothing, then the people know that they don't need to go to the police
Ralph,
anymore.
is this what winning a debate looks like?
Hey?
Is this what you winning a debate looks like?
What do you mean?
You not listening and just wandering to the camera and
I didn't know we had any debate.
Look, there have been many occasions where people have gone to
That-
the police
that-
and they
look
realise they
confident
get no proper response on their behalf, so they are discouraged to going to police in the future. You know, we have loads of documented data about this. You know.
yeah, it's understandable why convicted criminals, probably wouldn't trust the police since they already seem like they've fell victim of the police after their failed kidnap attempts.
I don't need to be a criminal to say, oh, I got attacked by these Muslim somethings, and then the police saying like, oh, you're just
And
racist.
this is what
you know.
the left would call this thing, what he's doing, victim
Move
blaming.
along.
He's
So,
victim blaming.
if you were attacked by some white people, would you say you were attacked by these Christians? How do you know that they're Muslim? That's why.
it's pretty
That's
obvious
why
if
the
they're-
police would probably be like, "Oh, this guy's a bit of a racist.
Well,
Let's maybe not like fucking
if
deal
they
with
would
it."
say like, if they came up to say, are you Muslim? You know,
Have you been attacked?
I'm saying
In that
other
way.
people have. Oh, trust me.
You've not. So
I
why
have,
are you?
I have.
Oh, so now you're using other people's subjective experiences as.
The Muslims admit it themselves that they go up to people, literally targeting them by saying, "Are you a Muslim?"
All Muslims do that.
No,
or-
I'm not said all.
So why do you
Muslims.
say the
Listen to
Muslims?
DJ Riza.
Because there's no, there's
Why
no,
do you say
there's
some
no big, there's no
Muslims?
big outrage.
No, but it's these
there's no
dog
big
whistles.
outrage of
It's
the
these
Muslim
dog
community.
whistles that people at
There
home will be
is
listening
no-
to. Oh, the Muslims did this. Oh, and the Muslims
Oh,
did
Seven
that.
that-
Why don't you say?
the guy who
seven
stabbed that guy,
Pakistani Muslim
he
guys
went-
and one black guy. There on camera.
Oh, so now it's 8 guys now, is it? So first
Yeah,
it was
and
5
he ran
guys,
into a mosque.
then it was
He
1
ran into a
guy,
mosque,
then it was 7 guys, and now you're saying it's 8 guys.
You're hearing things.
No.
Anyone would be able
Danny
to detail the
Tomo,
time
Danny
frame.
Tomo has said it was 7, he said it's 5, he said it's 1. Now you're saying it's 8.
But you don't care.
How
about
many
that.
is it? Were
But
you
don't
there?
care.
Were you there?
Kaush, were you happy that it happened?
I wasn't happy. I'm
Do you have any sympathy,
I'm
empathy?
anti-violence.
Do you have any empathy for Danny Tomo?
I have a little bit, but not as much as someone who gets stabbed for no reason. This is a guy who
So hang on,
promotes
did you just
hatred.
say you have less empathy for a guy who gets stabbed because there might have been more reason for him to be stabbed? Is that what you just said? That's remarkable. So you have a
So you have a set limit for empathy for everybody.
Graded empathy, and Danny Thomas excluded from the empathy.
You
'cause
don't
he
have
might
empathy for
had it
people like
coming.
me.
So the left will
You don't
use
have
the same thing.
empathy for people like me.
No, derision, no empathy.
Exactly. So I'm saying I have a varying degree of empathy. You're saying that you have a much bigger varying degree of
no
empathy,
empathy. I didn't
and
say
you're having a go at me
no
for
empathy, I
it.
said derision.
Exactly. You have derision, so you don't even have any empathy for me. Exactly. So you
pure.
can't have a go at me
Pure.
for it. Again, this is hypocrisy.
It's pure. So I don't even negotiate that. It's just
It's your
derision.
hypocrisy. You'll have a go at someone for
No,
something that you
I'm a
are
higher-
doing worse.
Like anyone cares about principles these days.
Yeah, people like you don't. People
Same
like
with the
fascists
left.
don't.
The left.
I do.
We're not fascists.
I do.
We're
Imperialists.
we're imperialists.
When have,
We're imperialists.
when have I ever been
Fascists and
unprincipled?
left-wing
Give me an
capacity
example
going
of my
I
unprincipled.
wasn't saying you. I said
Well,
the left.
treat
You
me
just-
as an individual, like I'm treating you as
didn't treat us as
individuals.
individuals. You said we are fascists or part of the far right.
You
know?
are fascist. He's admitted it, and you are part of
I'm
the
an
far right.
imperialist.
DJ Reason's
You are part of the far right, yeah?
Whatever the far right you define as, I don't know. There's so many different criteria.
You can go check out a video and subscribe to Right Reaction as I read the government reports, the academic government reports, describing us in their terms.
Saying
We
no
ought
one
to
is
get it.
watching your
Yeah.
your
We got
YouTube
problem.
channel apart from your 100 sock accounts.
We want small number of people.
Yeah,
Just
loads of popular nationalist channels had to be low subscribed for a very long time, but it does grow very phenomenally.
We just want it to be the people speaking the things we are interested in.
You want it to people speaking
about the things that interest us. We're not
so
interested
you
in
want your own little
dissenting.
echo chamber online where you can indoctrinate those newcomers.
We bring guests that don't agree with us.
Absolutely.
You could be one of them.
Oh, you're welcome to come on.
I won't be going on your channel.
That's what I mean, inclusivity. So we want,
and we're in our own bubble, aren't we?
We practice exclusivity. Exclusivity is our intellectual response to inclusivity. We want to otherize.
Yeah, we need to give people in this country purpose, especially white working class who have not been given any sense of community or religion.
Sorry, mate, you believe in God? God. No? You don't believe in God? God, Jesus?
We're in the middle of something now. So thank you for your survey.
Yeah.
No, I agree that we need purpose. Like since the 70s, when the industries were closed down by the hard right Thatcher, then we.
Hard right Thatcher.
She was a neoliberal, I'd say.
Yeah, well, it's kind of further right than the Tories are now, I would say, or like under David Cameron, maybe.
Under David Cameron, but not as right as we're heading.
So it's it's Margaret Thatcher who caused this problem by taking away the purpose of these people with jobs. And now you're wanting to push us further right. Instead of letting the left give back these people their purpose with proper industry, with green technologies,
British mining
and solving climate change at the same time.
British mining could not compete with the rest of the world. Margaret Thatcher had no choice, all right? She could have maybe, I don't know. She
had to trim the herd.
Yeah.
And she did a great job.
She thinned the herd.
Yeah, Hail Thatcher.
Yes.
So you'd believe in political genocide?
Political genocide. You have to define what political genocide is.
Well, some sort of like
these buzzwords.
Genocide based on someone's political status or class status.
But I'm on record saying I'm a huge fan of the upcoming Chinese camp technology. So where we can use the techniques done by the Chinese camps to reintroduce authoritarian principles for people who are not,
Anyway, I think you've hung yourself enough with this debate, because you definitely not won it. I was just on my way to get something to eat. I will be back. But it's been fun.
Yeah. And once more, we all stand with Danny, unlike people like this, we all stand with Danny as patriots. And what happened to him? Peace out, boys.
La la la, la la la.
Danny is a hero. Danny is a hero.
Come take over everything from your melody.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
That there are multiple ways of taking in interpretation.
So I'm saying, I choose, okay, it's up to you, it's fine, I don't mind if Christians or anybody else to read it and interpret it as visual. I'm simply saying, I interpret it metaphysically or metaphorically, right? Meaning that it was a vision that was taking place.